Hello, dear kids. Today we are going to learn about the brain of the computer. Yes, you heard me right. The brain. We all have a brain. So, how can a computer work without a brain? Can you tell me which part of the computer is called the brain? I think I heard it right from you. The CPU or the central processing unit is called the brain of the computer. Its function is to control and process all the information in the computer. In this module, we are going to learn in details about the parts of the CPU. The CPU is made up of three parts, that is the ALU, the arithmetic and logic unit, the CU or the control unit, and the MU or the memory unit. Now, what does the ALU does? The ALU performs all the mathematical calculations or arithmetical calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc., and also takes all logical decisions such as greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, etc. Now, what does the CU do, children? The CU controls all the instructions that come and go out of the computer. It controls communication and coordination between the input and output devices. So we can say that the control unit holds the control over the computer system. Now, last one, the memory unit. The memory unit stores the data and instruction to process data. That means whatever instructions are given to the computer through the input devices are stored by the computer. Also, it holds the data after processing until and unless they are redirected to the output devices on the request of the user. Now, we will learn about the various memories. The computer system has two memories. One is primary memory and the other is the secondary memory. The primary memory is also called the internal memory of the computer, whereas the secondary memory is called the external memory of the computer. The primary memory of the computer is of two types, RAM and ROM. The RAM stands for random access memory and ROM stands for read-only memory. ROM can be further categorized into three parts, that is ROM, EEPROM and EEPROM, as you have already learnt it in class 5. Now the secondary memory is the external memory which is found outside the computer system and can be installed by the user. Some of the examples are floppy disk, compact disk, hard disk, Blu-ray disk, pen drive, hard drive, etc. These all memories are known to you. Let us now learn about the RAM and the ROM. The RAM versus the ROM. What is the difference between RAM and ROM if both of them are the primary memories of the computer? Let us see it. The RAM stands for random access memory and ROM stands for read-only memory. This is only for your knowing students that the definition of RAM and ROM are given in the difference. Let me make it very clear to you. Never write the full forms of any word as their differences. Now, the RAM is a volatile memory, which means it stores data temporarily. Whatever we enter into the RAM, it will get erased once the power gets off due to any reason. The ROM is the permanent memory of the computer and is non-volatile in nature. Its contents are not erased even when the power is turned off. The basic difference between RAM and ROM is that we can read and write through RAM, whereas ROM, as the name suggests, can only be read and we cannot write through it. Then, what is the need of having a secondary memory in the computer? Is this question arising in your mind? So let us compare the primary memory and the secondary memory of the computer. The primary storage or the main memory of the computer, also called the internal memory, whereas the secondary memory is called the auxiliary memory of the computer or the external memory of the computer. Here comes some of the examples of primary memory as I have told you earlier: the RAM, ROM, PROM, EPROM, whereas the examples of secondary memory are SDD, CD, DVD, floppy disk, flash drives, pen drives, etc. I know you know many more examples of secondary memory. What does the primary storage does? It stores the data only while the computer's power is turned on, whereas the secondary memory is capable of storing data permanently. Thus, the primary memory is called a volatile memory, whereas the secondary memory is called the non-volatile memory of the computer. As I asked you, why we need the secondary memory? It is because the CPU can directly access the primary memory, whereas the CPU cannot directly access the data from the secondary memory. If the CPU wants to access any data from the secondary memory, then the data has to be first transferred to the primary memory and then the CPU can access it. But in case of power cutoff, a sudden power cutoff, the primary memory loses all the data fed into it, but the secondary memory does not. Even the storage capacity of the primary memory is very less as compared to the secondary memory. Thus, as the CPU cannot directly access data from the secondary memory, so the access of data is comparatively slower than the access of data from the primary memory. So below listed are some of the differences between the primary storage and the secondary storage devices. I hope it is clear to you. Now students, can you tell me about the secondary memory devices? As you can see in the picture given are some of the secondary storage devices. I know you people are intelligent enough and you remember what you have learnt in class 5. Yet, as a quick recap, let's go through the secondary storage devices. The flash drive or the pen drive, the floppy disk, zip disk, CD, RW, that is compact disk read-writable, CDR or compact disc recordable, DVD RW or digital versatile disc read and write, digital versatile disc read only, storage tape, smart media, that is the memory chip, removable hard drives, micro drives, memory sticks are some of the secondary storage devices. I hope this module is helpful to you to learn about the various parts of the computer. Thank you.